Jim, I have a press release, January 16, 2025. WWE and TNA Wrestling announced multi-year partnership. NXT superstars and TNA wrestling stars to appear across weekly WWE and TNA programming, WWE Premium Live events, and TNA pay-per-views. So let's stop there and talk about the headline. And of course, TNA has pay-per-views coming up, as we talked about a few weeks ago. Los Angeles and New York. Makes a little more sense now, doesn't it?
Well, maybe not still yet, because it depends on the talent crossing over. The way it was worded, I get the idea that it's going to be NXT talent.
Yes.
And I'm not against this concept or this deal, because it's the same kind of thing. Vince worked with Memphis and Smoky Mountain Wrestling in the 90s because we're not designed to try to take business away from him. We weren't going for national advertising. We weren't trying to do pay-per-view. But it was a place where he could get talent and potentially have a pipeline. If we help them out, then, we can get their guys, which they did from us. They got Lawler and Jeff and a couple other people from Memphis. They got a lot of people from us. And it's the same kind of thing with OVW. It was designed more as a wrestling school / territory with a local television than an actual regional territory. But it was somebody that they could work together with, because we weren't trying to compete with pay-per-view, national advertising, blah, blah, blah. With TNA, I think they have proven that whether you like them or not, they're not trying to put the WWE out of business, nor would they be capable of doing so. But they do have the capability to sign for decent money some talent that could be developed later on for the WWE. So instead of those people potentially being on the market to go to AEW and being wasted and not available to them, they're saying, hey, we'll do business with TNA. And if there's an official relationship, we'll get, I would assume, first crack, first pick at anybody that we would want that comes through their system. And at the same time, the reason they're still in business is because the parent company bought them for programming for their television network, Access, which is the same kind of deal that Sinclair did with Ring of Honor. But, I think it benefits the WWE in terms of getting access to young talent that they may potentially find, and some they've already got there. And also, it starts setting up a defense for the independent contractor, antitrust, monopoly, however you want to phrase it, defense that might be necessary at some point in the future, without giving any legitimate competition any ammunition. And we know who I maybe ought to call them illegitimate competition. One guy's got a lot of fucking money that he's willing to spend. We don't want to fucking be beholden to him because he's a fucking nut and he don't know how the business works and he's fucking everything up. So we'll bolster the smaller groups that don't want to get in our way and help everybody.
Well, the other thing, too, I said this a few weeks back, it cuts off the pipeline. Another pipeline for Tony Khan. And
yeah,
remember, he had that relationship first. I mean, they existed first, but when he started up AEW, pretty quickly they had the relationship with TNA. Don Callis was with TNA. Scott D'Amore was running TNA. Remember? And it was even weird because Tony was doing like promos with him and Shivani running down TNA.
Yes.
And then Omega was there. And then that relationship ended, and now look at this.
I think Don and a few other people were just looking at a way to get the fuck out of there and work for the billionaire that had deeper pockets. But it's going to be good for TNA because, as I said, it still may be a chore for them with somebody from NXT exclusively to fill these big buildings they're talking about running in New York and Los Angeles. But we thought they had to have something besides what they normally have, and they apparently have that now.
Well, let's get a little bit from the press release that isn't just verbatim what I read before as the headline. Here's a quote from Ariel Schneer, the Senior Vice President of Content and Distribution for TNA Wrestling and Anthem Sports and Entertainment.
Remember when it was just Toots Mondt, promoter?
This historic relationship demonstrates that collaboration and competition do not have to be mutually exclusive. Our partnership allows the TNA Wrestling brand and its incredible athletes to reach a significantly wider audience, while giving WWE and NXT stars an opportunity to cross the line and gain valuable...
You've gone too far now.
You've gone too far now. You went to TNA. All right, when we go back, they will cross the line and gain valuable experience as they join forces with one of the most talented rosters in professional wrestling today. Again, this was something that AEW needed more than WWE in terms of having another company with other wrestlers that you could funnel in and out. Former TNA Knockouts champion Jordan Grace and Joe Hendry frequently appeared on NXT programming last year, and many NXT superstars also crossed the line into TNA wrestling, including Wesley's short-lived reunion with the Rascals.
Short-lived reunion with the Rascals, and they just couldn't hit the notes on Good Lovin'.
Yeah, Felix dropped out pretty early on that from what I understand. Charlie Dempsey and the No Quarter Catch Crew, Riley Osborne, Dante Chen, Gallus, Ariana Grace, Tatum Paxley, Izzy Dame. These names are the worst fucking name. Izzy, A-I-Z-Z-I, Dame. Izzy Dame.
Izzy a dame?
Wendy Chu, and Brinley Reese, and more.
So I don't know if Brinley Reese is going to pack them in New York and L.A. But it's a step in the right direction for these fine business organizations. We applaud them.
You know, there are people that say that one of the reasons the AWA was so important was Vern Gagne, who had been an NWA guy, NWA United States champion, when it was treated as the top title, that, yeah, he didn't get the NWA title, but also him being cooperative with them and owning such a large territory in such a large part of the country with Wally Carbo, it destroyed the argument of antitrust.
Yeah.
Of monopoly. And that is that.
Well, that's what I was saying earlier, is that they are also at the same time, when they let one of the guys that wants to do that type of thing go and work, you know, an independent show, or they're working with TNA, who's another promotion, they're getting the benefits that they want to get out of the deal, but also they're laying a potential future defense for, no, we're not a monopoly, and there's no antitrust, and they are independent contractors where they get to work for these other people. So that figures into it also.